So, Lainey,
Steven.
I can't wait to fuck this guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Ah! That's what Hanako says. He goes, oh!
You know he's got like sunken in butt cheeks just like his face. No?
Yeah. So what did he do? Oh yeah, he was taken aback by her face.
Yeah.
He catches himself staring and looks to the side, addressing us indirectly. His expression is awkward and tense, as his entire body. I want to be mad at him, but I know full well that I had the same instinctive reaction when I first saw her. First surprise and curiosity, then an awkward look away as I dealt with what I had seen.
And then a boner.
Hanako looks less panicked than before, but I think the feeling she's giving off now is worse. It's not anger nor annoyance, if anything, it's one of an apology.
You're lucky there, young lady, to have friends that care about you as much as they do.
Thank you.
If I hadn't spent so much time with Hanako, I wouldn't even realize that she said anything. And again, the store owner's mumble was hardly clear either, thanks in part to being directed away from us. Hanako strikes out into the store, gazing in wonder at the various items on display. She finds the doll section and spends lingering minutes studying each and every one. It's a side of Hanako I've only barely been introduced to. I was astonished when Lily said she liked dolls, and even more so to find her collection sitting on her dresser. She looks a little better now that she's distracted and out of the store owner's sight, but I'm still quite put off by the whole experience. I might have my own problems, but I've never had strangers react to me like that, as I find something completely alien to them.
Look at that picture.
Yeah, what?
Yeah, that's me.
Steven, turn it into Joe.
It's already Joe.
No, don't put it up as Joe. Like, use the picture and draw over it and make it Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like, yeah.
Yeah.
Make it Garfield.
What the fuck?
This is a nice shop.
Yeah, it's not what I expected. Do you want to buy something?
I didn't bring any money.
Well, we can always come again. Well, now I know where to find it, that is.
We can.
Of course, we can come here as often as you'd like.
Thank you.
You guys don't have any money? Get out! Get out!
Go! You don't need to thank me. I almost forgot where this place was. I don't really think either of us completely believes in what we're saying, but rather we're just repeating what we think we should say.
Can we go back to school now?
Sure thing, let's go. As we leave for the bus stop, I see the store owner peek through the curtain of the back of the shop. Not really sure what that glance gives us or gives to her says. It feels a bit weird, and the fact that Hanako didn't see it is both a relief and a bit frustrating. They fucking stole something, didn't they? Hanako and I stopped walking once we reached the concrete area between the dormitory building. There was barely a word said between us on the way back from the city.
Well, then, goodbye.
The big shitty.
Do you want to have tea or something? How about a game? Hanako shakes her head embarrassedly.
I'm tired. Maybe later. I've got homework.
I'm nice.
She sounds a little depressed. Hanako obviously does want to do more, but I suppose she would have a bit of schoolwork to catch up on. She's missed a few days of lessons. Homework. Thanks for reminding me. I've got a stack to do as well. I guess I'll see you tomorrow.
We need to get the James viewership up.
See
I'm sorry.
you, Hassan.
The wackadoo willies.
Wackadoo wackies.
Before I can say goodbye, Hanako has turned and begun walking towards the entrance to the female dormitory. I looked at the door she disappears through for a bit before going off towards my own dorms. Today was a tiring day.
Today was a good day.
Today was
Tiring
a good day.
one.
Yeah?
Touch my boobs, Hanako.
What?
Scars.
Oh, you're gonna say. You're gonna be like, look at my sexy scar. And she's gonna be like, oh. What?
It's gonna
Stop!
Kalima you.
That's how she comes.
Kalima.
Stop.
I woke up, took my pills, had a nice shower, took a pretty okay shit, quickly slipped on my uniform, ate a tasty breakfast, grabbed my leg, and headed off.
My leg?
Yep, all as per usual routine. It was only after arriving in class that the normality of the days was thrown off. After taking my seat, I watched my classmates trickle into the room over the next hour, until that every empty seat was eventually taken other than Hanako's. Where's her face? I can never get used to the idea. Her disability is just not having a face.
Yeah.
She doesn't show up to class every now and again. It feels more worrying now than ever, given that Lily's left.
Go back a bit. Roll back. Like, okay, now forward. Man, Shizune's got big boobs.
Yeah. Yeah, she does.
Okay. Continue.
As Muto continues to drone on, I find my gaze flicking every so often over to her seat, as if she might appear there any moment now. Nobody else seems to care at all about her absence, but they have little reason to. Hanako being absent from class after all is perfectly normal, or at least it was. Her attendance hasn't been all that bad from what I've seen in my time here, but it was apparently much more spotty beforehand. This is also an ominous time for her to be gone. It's the day before her birthday. What?
It's the day before her birthday, and my suspicions are starting to rise.
Oh, yeah, we just had a party.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't actually.
Yeah.
Because we were supposed to
yeah.
have it on her birthday, but then Lily was like, me aunt's dying.
I thought it was
My aunt's
a whole year
dying.
just passed.
I have to go protect me country from the invaders. That's how.
An increasing amount of my thoughts is taken up by now. I can help her, yeah, but in the end,
You can't help her. You don't need to help her. Just go be supportive,
sorry.
you fucking dickbag.
I'm getting called, sorry.
Okie dokie.
I want to... What?
Hey, everybody.
Hey, Dr.
Hi.
Nick.
That's just me saying that we're actually ready.
And that's just
How
me
did that
saying, hey.
happen? Yo ho ho, he took a bite of gum gum. Ya yo, ya yo.
Okay.
A bell heralding the beginning of lunchtime rings out, shaking me out of my thoughts. A collective sigh of relief can be heard from the class, though Muto looks quite put off. He dislikes being interrupted in the middle of his lectures, after all. Just when I'm wondering when I should... What I should be doing on break, given that Hanako and Lily aren't here, the solution presents itself.
Gross, you should go check on Hanako, but fine.
You're gonna
Afternoon,
do them?
Hichan!
Afternoon, Misha and Shizune, you both look as bright as ever. Little Team Rocket scamps.
Shichan wants to know if you'd like to have lunch with us today.
Sure,
No!
it'll be good to have some company.
Ew.
Cafeteria hums with activity, much like my old schools did. Yamaku is different, though, in how strangely civilized the lunchtime rush is.
God, I just hate her.
Hey man, what's the big time rush?
Joe, you are one strike away from being fired.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for quoting Vine in 2022.
What would it expect to be an unruly mob chomping at the bit to get to the serving area is rather a neat organized line. There's a small amount of jostling and people's heads are often craning around to check on what's happening up ahead, but it's pretty subdued. This is due no doubt to the very serious rules regarding such matters in this school. The same strict discipline is observed when students move in the hallways or come to from their dormitories and the school gate. While the reasons for it may be slightly off-putting, I've come to quite like the sense of order that's enforced in the school. Didn't really like being told by Shizune and Misha to get their lunches, though. I feel a little used as I take a seat at the table they're sitting, plunking their food down in front of them.
Jesus Christ! least. They're awful. Why don't you go get my food? Because I'm deaf and my arms don't work. Like, what is that? You fucking cunt. Oh, I hate her!
Sweet bread and strawberry milk for Misha, a bowl of ramen and juice for Shizune. I hate
Just like every president, it's just like every typical politician.
I would have been like, sure, I'll get it, and then I get it, and then I throw it at them when I bring it to them. Be like, here's your fucking lunch, you stupid bitch!
Here's your food!
Yeah, exactly. And then I hit them Hitman style in the face with their food, and they die, and oof.
Your fucking food.
Put the knife down, Shizune.
I can't get all in addition to my own lunch.
Thank you.
Misha claps her hands together before popping open the wrapper and digging into her bread ravenously. Shizune simply gives an appreciative nod before giving her steaming ramen a stir and blowing on it a little to cool it down.
I hope she chokes.
I open my lunch, another packet of sweetbread, and take a bite before washing it down with some juice. The bread is very sweet, so much so that I end up forcing myself to stomach it just to get the experience over with.
God.
Midway through, I decided to take a break from a difficult task and ask what's going on in my mind. So I'm guessing you two had a reason to drag me here. You two always seem to have an ulterior motive after all.
Hey Chan, that's so funny. We just didn't want to get our own lunches. What are you saying, Hifan? We won't have you any other motive.
Her mouth is full of sweetbread as she speaks. It's a pretty unpleasant sight. Shizune looks a little grossed out before going back to eating her ramen. I wait until Misha swallows what she has in her mouth before speaking again. You're not buttering me up to make me work with you after school.
Nope.
Not trying to extract information from me that I might not want to give.
Nuh-uh.
Fine, you win. I guess you want to eat lunch with someone as intelligent and handsome as me then.
That's it, Hichan. You got it.
Shizune looks unimpressed as Misha finished signing her conversation and sucks in the last of the long noodle as she signs her own thoughts.
God, I wish I could have put my hand across the table and fucking drown her in her own soup.
It's nice that she can speak while talking.
I was just thinking that too.
Yeah, while she's eating, she can sign. That's true. Shichan says you shouldn't be so suspicious of us. She's just doing her duty as a class representative after all.
How is she doing that? 'Cause I hate to admit it, it looks like as if I still have trouble communicating with Shizune. Should be a simple matter of keeping eye contact with her and addressing Shizune instead of Misha in my speech. But what someone else is doing the talking for her is surprisingly difficult.
It's the class representative's job to ensure everyone's doing all right in class, isn't it?
Not really. Wait, how is making me get your food and ensuring that I'll do well in class? Shizune huffs and adjusts her glasses disapprovingly.
So this is the thanks we get for giving you a championship during lunchtime, or companionship during lunchtime.
Yeah.
I should have.
That's a total dodge of the question. Wait, hang on. How did you know that
Lily's away and Hanako is absent, and since those two are the only people you hang around with,
Hanging with you out of pity.
you almost make it kind of obvious to see.
Ouch, I may have done so, but she didn't need to rub it in. Maybe this is payback for her before.
They would be Regina George if they were in Mean Girls. They're awful and I hate them.
Alright, well thanks, I appreciate it, and that isn't sarcasm.
Have you seen Heathers the musical?
No, but I've seen Heathers the movie.
Heathers the movie. Heathers the musical is much better.
Ouch.
Like, people love Heathers the musical.
I know, but how is it better than the thing that it drew inspiration from?
Songs and dances are nice.
He's got a point. The two nod and we get back to finishing our meals. It feels a little embarrassing to be accompanied just because they notice I was lonely, but it isn't as if they're strangers either.
And I mean, but also people say that Heathers the musical just fits the themes and atmosphere of the story better. In the context of a musical, it's more cohesive, and they also add in scenes that give characters more depth. So that's why people like that. Like Shrek the Musical. But Shrek the Musical is god-awful and it should never be brought up. Where Shrek the Musical adds in, like, unnecessary scenes. Heather's adds in scenes that weren't necessary but are greatly appreciated. Shrek the Musical is dog shit. Don't watch that.
I've seen the Riverdale musical episode where they do Heather's the Musical.
Oh.
I can't say it made me want to see Heather's the Musical at all, though. But that's because the Riverdale musicals are fucking garbage. Moving on.
Yeah. They have superpowers now.
They do!
You know?
I just watched it last night, and I laid down with Steven, and I was like, I'll watch the new episodes of Riverdale. And he was like, yeah? What'd you think? And I was like, they have superpowers now. Anyway, it's real stupid, but I love it.
It isn't long before I finish the last of my bread and I start on the last of my juice, and as I do so, I find my mind wandering back to what I'd been thinking about before these two interrupted my train of thought.
Betty, I found this palladium and I think it's my kryptonite. I rolled my eyes so hard. Oh god, it's wonderful.
Oh my god.
It's so funny. He's literally like, I found this palladium and I got hurt today. I think it's my kryptonite. And she's like, oh, it's so good. Oh my god, it's trash garbage. It's fucking great. It's like Arby's if Arby's was a TV show.
Feels like I'm the only one in the class that so much as acknowledges Hanako not being there. Felt like this the other times that she skipped class, but now it's even more acutely annoying. Does nobody care if she's happy or not? Have they just written off any possibility of making her feel better? Even Muto doesn't try to keep her in class, and I'm still not wholly convinced by his reasoning.
I'm sorry we keep cucking you, Steven.
You should be.
Hey, Hichan, is your juice past its expiry date?
I'm sorry,
What?
Archie and Heather just keeps cucking you.
You were pulling a weird face like this.
As if it were needed, Misha mimics my own expression. Her exaggeration makes me grimace, though Shizune is at least taking some amusement from it. I was just thinking about Hanako.
Oh.
Misha's interest is piqued, and so is Shizune's once my words are interpreted for her. I'm just worried about her being absent so often, especially now though, what with her birthday coming around. Whoa. I've never seen her that sad before.
Oh, you've never seen her have compassion on her face? Weird.
The memories of that incident in class are still fresh in their minds. Their faces alone are telling me that much. Do you know anything about Hanako? Anything that might help? Misha shrugs and then looks to Shizune, who mulls on this for a while.
The only people she's ever talked to for more than a sentence or two are you and Lily.
Shizune might be able to convey Lily's name in a derisive tone of speech, but I feel as if it comes through in her sign language. The effect is lost. However, after Misha's interpretation.
There are a couple of things we know about Hanako as student council members thanks to the records that pass through our hands, but we can't say anything what's on them.
Understandable, have a nice day. Sounds like the nurse is patiently confidentiality.
I will give them that. That's cool of them.
Every time I find someone that knows something about Hanako's past, it turns out being a dead end.
Like, he should be asking Hanako and not them, and it's cool that they're not, like, willing to give out information they know because of that.
They have honor.
I'll give the dumb bitch that.
The only way I'll ever find out is by asking her. I don't know if she'll let me know such things, but if it's for her sake, I have to at least try.
Don't worry about it, Hichan. It happens every year after all.
That doesn't remove my sense of worry at all. I still feel a little at fault for what happened in class. But this feels like it goes further, even without their confirmation of that fact. Misha's notes my troubled expression, her own usual happy and reassuring face dropping.
Everyone has problems that they deal with, right, Hichan?
Yeah, I just wish I could help Hanako more with hers. That the conversation trails off on a depressing note. Eventually, Misha manages to pick up the mood, though through her usual bright and bubbly antics, but my mind remains focused on Hanako. I'll go check on her later.
Good. Good.
I make sure my door is locked after dropping off my school bag.
Probably good with Kenji around.
Yeah, sneaking in. Muto kept me occupied longer than I expected, discussing my studies after classes ended and pressing me on some worksheets to give to Hanako almost as an afterthought. Absorbed in thought, I am late in registering the shadow that appears in front of me. Looking up reveals the owner of said shadow.
Yes! I've been waiting for this! Hey man, I haven't seen you in a while.
Oh, hi.
What's up with that response?
My absent-minded greeting visibly annoys him. I'd probably have had the same reaction. Sorry, I'm just thinking about a lot of stuff.
Thinking is a pretty poor excuse to not be aiding in the war effort.
God, I hate this guy.
And how goes the war?
I'm preparing. Right now, I need money to help me with the preparations.
If you want me to loan money, just say it.
No man, I'm good.
You good? You don't want my money?
Hey man, don't look so surprised. It's insulting. I'm pretty big in the competitive bowling scene, but yesterday I found some guys who didn't know that.
Fairly sure that
Oh,
betting
bowler.
would be against
What a
the school
fucking
rules.
loser.
School rules don't matter. This is a war situation. People these days, they have no appreciation for what war means.
So what do you need this money for, dare I ask?
Non-perishable canned food, building materials, mostly iron and wood, panels, first aid kit, camping heater, portable radio, sleeping bag, flashlight, and a mechanical clock.
Steven, before you change it, go back. Will you please change the A in flashlight to an E? Thank you.
First, it strikes me as a rather random assortment of objects and materials, but after a few seconds it clicks. Isn't that a list of materials for a fallout shelter?
Ah, so you've read a Protect and Survive booklet. It's good to see someone knowledgeable about how to protect themselves.
You don't seriously think?
It's a non-zero possibility.
No, I'm pretty sure there's a zero possibility of it ever happening. It's happened twice.
Well, I don't know. It's
happened twice.
It's 20 right now in this future.
Too
In
soon.
this 20 year of our Lord 2020 deuce.
He slowly and dramatically raises an eyebrow. Well, as dramatically as one can raise an eyebrow. The chances, I don't know, 0 point in the trillionth place. It's an infinitesimal. Besides, where can you build a fallout shelter anyway? Certainly not on campus.
It's my summer holiday project while I'm at home. My dad said that I could do it.
Really?
Yeah, he thought it'll improve my crafting skills and mental dexterity or something.
Knowing Kenji, his dad probably just thought it might keep him out of his hair for a
Yeah,
while.
he's like, maybe you won't get into weird shenanigans if you just do that.
Or his dad's just Dale Gribble. Still, it does make you wonder what his parents are like. Maybe they're totally normal and Kenji is just an aberration. On the other hand, maybe this kind of paranoia and fearful survivalism runs in the family.
I love that Dale Gribble quote where he's like the NRA is a like he's talking about the NRA, and then Hank's like, Dale, the NRA is a Washington-based organization. Are you telling me you support Washington?
Yeah.
and then he completely turns on the NRA.
Yeah, it's so good. It's so funny.
Hey, you want to help me build it? You look like the type to be handy with tools. If I had your help, we could make a really badass bunker instead of just a fallout shelter.
I doubt that. Playing soccer before my accident gave me good footwork, but I've never really tried my hand at approaching real handiwork. I'm not really. I'm busy over the holidays anyway, I'm afraid.
A shame. If the feminists ever get a hold of the launch codes, I fear that so few will be prepared.
And your fallout shelter will protect you from a nuclear explosion in the case of that does happen.
A fallout shelter isn't meant to protect against the blast. That's what the blast shelter is for. I thought you knew better.
My bad.
My home's pretty far away from any major military sites, so the fallout following a nuclear exchange is a bigger concern than the blast itself. What this'll do is keep the dust and other particulates away from me. My food supply, my sleeping area, it's gotta last at least 14 days though.
14 days is a pretty long time.
It is. I'll need 1 liter of water a day for drinking. 2 optimally so that I can wash as well. Toiletry is easy enough. Just garbage cans in a bin placed outside the shelter area. Food means canned supplies, of course.
Of course, and the radios for outside communication.
Right, so I can pick up government alerts on what's going outside. I need a mechanical clock rather than an electric one in case the magnetic pulse from a nuclear air blast fries it, too. There's a lot of other stuff I need as well, like extra clothing, machines, and candles. I think I still have enough time to gather it all, though. Maybe.
As much as I hate to say it, I'm a little impressed. He's really researched this, thought it through, and then again, I don't know if I want to live in a post-apocalyptic world with only people like Kenji having survived. It's going to be the case.
Me either. I don't.
That's exactly the kind of people.
That's fine. I'll die. I don't want to be on the world where it's just Kenji's. I don't want that. So I'm fine to die. Thank you.
Sounds like you know what you're doing.
Damn right I do.
It must be hard living in constant fear like this. He hardly ever socializes either, so the fact that he went bowling with others in itself is something of a surprise. This mentality reminds me a little of a certain someone. Thankfully, her fear of others doesn't manifest in such distinctly eccentric way. One thing I know for sure is that I certainly can't tell him exactly why I haven't been hanging around him so much recently. It's late, I have stuff to do. I'll think about making a fallout shelter or something though.
Yeah, alright, that's cool. A man has to do what he's gotta do after all. You should hang out with me sometimes, by the way. You're a cool dude. Cool dudes hang out together, right?
For some reason, that compliment actually feels kind of nice. The situation with Hanako being what it is, though, I probably won't be able to fulfill his request for now, at least. That'd be good. I'll talk to you later about it when I can.
Cool. Later, dude.
He retreats to his dorm. I had better go see Hanako. I sat outside of her door to Hanako's room, hoping that she is in too much of a state as I nervously clutched the worksheets Muto asked me to pass on to her. It's one more reason to visit her, and it gives me something to talk about, so I suppose I should be thankful to him for giving me the task. With a long breath to steady myself, I wrap my knuckles on the door in front of me. Silence. I listen intently for any sound of shuffling coming from inside, but I can't hear a thing.
That's not rapping, that's beatboxing. But, you know.
Blah, blah, blah. Still no answer. How strange. Scratching my head, I make one last attempt at getting her to answer as I knock on the door one final time. Hanako! It's just me. Muto said to give you some stuff. For a while, the attempt seems just unsuccessful as last, just before I slip the sheets under her door, though I hear the handles rattling. Thank you for not being dead. As the door opens halfway, I quickly try to see how Hanako's faring. The task made somewhat more difficult by her oversized gown, hiding so much of her hot body. She doesn't look sick, or at least not immediately, so to be honest, I'd have preferred that her expression right now. She looks terribly tired and it appears to be barely acknowledging my presence. Hi Hanako, Muto wanted me to give you these since you were in class today. I hold out the loose sheets which she attentively takes in her hands. The way she moves is devoid of thought. Her posture is slumped in an unusual manner for someone that's so often tense and wound up. Even her eyes keep looking away from mine, doing their best to avoid eye contact. I move my head a little and try to get a better look, but she just ends up turning away. Are you okay? If you're feeling sick or anything, I could go get a nurse. Feels almost pitiful to put up such a routine get well soon act. I can't think of anything else I could possibly do for her, though. She seems to collect herself a little at the notion, but only a little. Her head remains turned away, but her eyes move towards me.
Want to build a bomb shelter? Want to build a fallout shelter?
I'm fine.
An awkward silence follows.
Steven!
Her cheeks are a bit red. Has she been crying? I see. I hesitated a little before coming out with the words I really came here to say. Would you like me to stay? I don't have anything urgent to do at the moment, so it wouldn't be any trouble. Her eyes slide away from me, and I lose any hope for an improvement of her mood. I wait for a response, but she doesn't say anything nor give any kind of gesture. She just stands there looking away from me. Hanako? She slowly shakes her head. Okay, good night then. With that, Hanako steps back and closes her door without a second word. More than a little worried, I retreat back to my room. Wandering up the hallway, I keep mulling over what happened. It felt like Hanako was only half there, as if I was interacting with a robot that was just doing what it was programmed to do without any real thought.
The feminists are taking over. Kenji was right.
They're infiltrating
They've
her
already
brain.
infiltrated Hanako.
This is frustrating. I had hoped that meeting Hanako would help the situation, but I feel like it's only made it harder to understand her. How am I supposed to try and help her when she's quite literally shuts me out like that? Bitch!
Next time on
Put up-
SUBPARCADE!
Yeah, put up Weezer posters because now he's bitchless. Now he's a virgin. Now he's a Weezer fan. Put up
Yeah.
Pinkerton.
Maybe we'll get ahead.
What? Baby, walk ahead.